जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Friday. It is the 18th of July. It is Shridhara Masa, Shravana Masa, Krishna Paksham, Ashtami Tithi. So there is one Vaishnava event today in the calendar. So today is the disappearance day of Srila Lokanatha Goswami. Yes, we shall read a few lines from the ISKCON about Lokanatha Goswami. It is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyela, chapter 18. Srila Rupa Goswami and his associates stayed in Madura for 1 month and saw the Gopal deity. So when Rupa Goswami stayed at Madura, he was accompanied by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Lokanatha Das Goswami. Shri Lokanatha Goswami was a personal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and a great devotee of the Lord. He was a resident of a village named Talakhadi in the district of Yesohara in Bengal. Previously, he lived in the Kanchadapada. His father's name was Padmanabha, and his only sibling was a younger brother named Pragalba. So, following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Lokanatha went to Vrindavana to live. He established a temple named Gokulananda. So, Sri Narottama Das Thakura selected Lokanath Das Goswami to be his spiritual master, and Narottama Das Thakura was his only disciple. Because Lokanath Das Goswami did not want his name mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we do not often see it in the celebrated book. On the EBR Railroad, the Yeshwahara station is located in Bangladesh. From the railway station, one has to go by bus to the village of Sonakali, and from there to Kejura. From there, one has to walk, or during the rainy season, go by boat to the village of Talakadi. In this village, there are still descendants of Lokanatha Goswami's younger brother. So, the purport to text 52 states in the Bhakti Ratnakara, the sixth wave, there is a list of many of the chief devotees who accompanied Srila Rupa Goswami. The following Vaishnavas were present with Srila Rupa Goswami: the merciful Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Bhugarbha Goswami, Lokanatha Goswami, a reservoir of good qualities. Discussing the song Shri Guru Vandana by Srila Narottama Das Thakura, Srila Prabhupada commented, Lokanatha Lokeshwara, Lokanatha Lokera Jivana. Lokanath Das Thakura's Guru's name was Lokanatha Goswami. We have seen those who have gone to Vrindavana. There is Lokanatha Goswami's tomb. And he took his disciples to Lokanatha Goswami's Samadhi and Parikrama. According to Shri Gaura Ganadesh Deepika 187, Lokanatha Goswami was Leela Manjari in Krishna Leela. On this auspicious occasion, we pray to Lokanatha Goswami with the words of his disciple Narottama Das Thakura. Shri Guru Karna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Lokana Lokera Jivana Aha Prabhu Koro Jaya Deho More Pada Chaya E Bejas Gusupri Bhuvana. O spiritual master, ocean of mercy and friend of the fallen souls, you are the teacher of everyone and the life of all people. O master, be merciful unto me and give me the shade of your lotus feet. May your glories now be proclaimed throughout the three worlds. So there is another further shlokas are there. I read the translation. O Lokanatha, O Gurudeva, if you are pleased with me, please keep me in the shelter of your lotus feet and cast your merciful glance upon me. By your mercy, I can find the perfection of inner fulfillment. And by your mercy, I can someday meet Sri Chaitanya and Radha Krishna. If you are not merciful to me, then what shall I do? Please just once fulfill my heart's desire. In the three worlds of birth and death, no one is more in need of your mercy. Please give me your mercy and give me a place at your lotus feet. Day and night I sing the qualities and pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Still, the inner aspirations of Narottama Dasa for the service of Sri Radha Govinda and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can be realized only through your grace, O Lokanath Goswami Prabhu. I worship Sri Lokanath Prabhu, the son of Sri Padmanabha, who possessed a great wealth of devotion to Sri Radha Vinoda and always engaged in their service. Hare Krishna. So this is by uh, Giriraj Swami. So on July 10th, 2023. Okay, so that is the Srila Lokanath Goswami's disappearance day. Okay, that is from events perspective. We shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so the conversations between Uddhava and Vidura, so these were done, and then Sukadeva Goswami said that after the both they have shared the Krishna Katha each other, and they both felt the ecstasies and also a bit of lamentation by remembering the Krishna's disappearance, and also uh, after that they have spent on that night in the banks of Yamuna River, so they have left from that place. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned to Parikshit Maharaj. इति सह विदुरेण विश्वमूर्तेः गुणकथाय हृदया प्लावितोरुतापः क्षणमिव पुलिने यमस्वसुस्तां समुषितः औपगविः निशां ततो अघात्. Just on that night, just like it went like a moment that night with Deva and Vidura's discussion. So later on, as soon as Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that one to Parikshit Maharaj, so Parikshit Maharaj, he is inquiring. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he has completed all his pastimes, and also he has annihilated his Yadu family as well. But why only Buddha was remained there, even though Lord has completed all his pastimes? So likewise, Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question to Sukadeva Goswami. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 4, verse number 28. Rajavavacham Nidanam upagateषु वृष्णिभोजेषु अतिरतयोतपयोतपेषु मुख्यः तदुगतम् अवशिष्टः बुद्धवो यद्धरिः अपि तत्यज आकृतिं प्रदीशः. Nidhanam upagateषु वृष्णिभोजेषु. Nidhanam is the so this is Rajavavach. Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring from Sukadeva Goswami. Nidhanam is the destruction. Nidhanam Upagateshu, having overtaken Vrishni Bhojeshu of Vrishni dynasty and Bhojeshu, the Bhoja dynasty. Nidhanam Upagateshu Vrishni Bhojeshu. Adirata Yotapa Yotapeshu Mukyaha. Adirata, the great commander, Yotapa, commander in chief. Yotapeshu among them Mukyaha, prominent. So here Adirata Yotapa Yotapeshu Mukyaha. So Uddhava is the one of the prominent and chief person, and also many of other people have been annihilated in the Yadu dynasty. When the Uddhava is the personal associate of Krishna, and also he is the minister. So many of other people like the Atiratas, Yotapa Yotapeshu Mukyaha, everyone are already Nidhanam, they were destroyed. Satu Katam Avasista Buddhavo Satu So here he only Satu Katam. How come only Avasistaha he remained Buddhava? Why only Buddhava was remained? Satu Katam Avasista Buddhava Yadharihi and Yadharihi Api Tatjha Akuritim Tadishaha Yadharihi. So whereas the Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yadharihi Api, also Lord also Tatyaja, and also he has completed his pastimes, Akritim, all his complete Leelas. Akritim Tridishaha, the Lord of the three worlds. And Lord also has completed all his pastime, and also he has left. Why only Buddha was remained here? So Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring. निधनमुपगतेषु वृष्णिभोजेषु अतिरतयोथपयोथपेषु मुख्यः स तु कथमवशिष्टः बुद्धो यद्धरिः अपि तत्यज आकृतिं प्रदिशः. Translation. The king inquired, at the end of the pastimes of the Lord of the three worlds, Sri Krishna, and after the disappearance of the members of the Vrishni and Bodhi dynasties, who were the best of the great commanders, why did Uddhava alone remain? Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Saranya Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. According to Sri Jiva Goswami, Nidana means the transcendental abode of Lord. Ni means highest and Dhana means opulence. And because the abode of Lord is the highest manifestation of transcendental opulence, his abode can therefore be called Nidana. Apart from the grammatical elucidation, the real purpose of the word Nidana is to indicate that all the members of the Vrishni and Bhoja dynasties were direct associates of the Lord. And after the end of his pastime, all the associates were dispatched to their respective positions in the transcendental abode. Srila Vishwanatha Goswami Tagura elucidates the meaning of Agridim as pastimes. A means complete and Krudim means transcendental pastimes. Since the Lord is identical with his transcendental body, there is no question of his changing or quitting his body. To act in accordance with the rules and customs of the material world, the Lord seems to take his birth or leave his body, but the pure devotees of the Lord know well the actual fact. It is necessary, therefore, for the serious students of Srimad Bhagavatam to follow the notes and comments of the great acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanatha Chakravarti. To others who are not devotees of the Lord, who are no, who are not the devotees of the Lord, the comments and explanation of such acharyas may appear to be grammatically jugglery, but to the students who are in the line of disciplic succession, the explanations of the great acharyas are quite fit. The word Ubagadeshu is also significant. All the members of the Vrishni and Bhoja dynasty reached the abode of the Lord. The devotees do not reach the abode of the Lord directly, but the pure associates of the Lord who have no attraction for the opulence of any planet of the material world. Sometimes, due to inquisitiveness, devotees who are to be promoted to the abode of the Lord have some attraction for the opulence of the higher material planets above the earth, and thus they decide to see them while going up to the perfection. But the Vrishnis and Brojas were directly dispatched because they had no attraction for material planets. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Tagura also suggests that according to the Amara Kosha dictionary, Agriti also means signal. Lord Krishna ordered Uddhava by signal to go to Badrigasrama after his departure, and Uddhava, as a pure devotee of the Lord, carried out the order more faithfully than going back to Godhead or the abode of the Lord. That was the cause of his remaining alone even after the departure of the Lord from the face of earth. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here in this purport, it is Srila Prabhupada is describing about the different ways of interpreting why Buddha has remained here. So here again, Nidhanam No, there is a very beautiful kirtan about Krishna and Radha. Krishna prema mai Radha. Radha prema mayo harihi jivane nidhane nityam Radha Krishna ghatir mama. So jivane is the while living and also nidhane during the death of. So that is jivane nidhane nityam Radha Krishna ghatir mama. So here, um, according to Jiva Goswami, Nidhana means the transcendental abode of the Lord. Giving the Ni means the highest, and Dhanam it means the opulence. It's another meaning. So, and because of the and also there is again another word of similarly Nirvanam. Nirvanam also it about getting the abode of the Lord, or sometimes mostly it is used by the impersonalists. So, and because the abode of the Lord is the highest manifestation of the transcendental opulence, his abode can therefore be called Nidhanam. Okay, so this is a few of grammatical elucidation, and the real purpose of the word Nidhanam is to indicate that all members of the Vishnu and Bhoja dynasty were direct associates of the Lord, and after the end of his pastime, all were dispatched to their respective positions. So that is the Nidhanam. Nidhanam Upagateshu, Vishnu Bhojeshu. They were all dispatched to their respective positions. Again, coming to Srila Biswanath Chakravarti Thakur, he is also describing another word, Akuritim. So Akuritim means it is a transcendental pastimes of the Lord here in this context, in the synonyms we use. But here, Akuritim as pastimes, A means A. In the Akuritim, A means complete. And Kritim means transcendental pastimes. So since the Lord is identical with transcendental body, there is no question of changing or quitting his body. So he is always in that Sambhavami Atma Maya. So in his internal, with his internal potential, he appears. He never changes or quits his body. So to act in accordance with the rules and customs of the material world, the Lord seems to take his birth or leave his body, but the pure devotees of the Lord know well the actual fact. This is nato natya dharayata. So it's like the actor acts on that stage. Likewise, Krishna comes and then performs his acts, and then very beautiful pastimes we have gone through about Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He describes again how a magician performs, and then in front of the king, and then he takes away all his wealth, his horses, his children and everything. And then later on, he enters into the fire, and also by looking at his wife, also enters into the fire, and then everything turned into the ashes in front of the king in a moment of time. And later on, after a few days, this magician he sends his daughter back to the king along with all his opulences and his family, horses, everything, and saying that I have performed this magic. Now you give me the remuneration, whatever you think is best. So that is the magic. When a magician can do all these things, the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what can't he do? So likewise, in accordance with the uh, uh, rules and the customs of the material world, the Lord seems to take his birth or leave his body, but the pure devotees of the Lord know well the actual fact. So it is necessary that for the serious students of Srimad Bhagavatam to follow the notes and comments of the Acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti. If we try to use our mind, then it will speculate to different things because we are not yet purified. So once there is a time, once we are, all our Acharyas, they are expert in the grammar and also philosophy. They have studied many scriptures under the guidance of their spiritual masters. Once one come to that point, and then he can assimilate all the comments and the notes of the acharyas. So to others who are not devotees of the Lord, the comments and explanation of such acharyas may appear to be grammatical jugglery, But to the students who are in line in the disciplic succession, the explanations of the great acharyas are quite fit. But otherwise, if I simply say that Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Raja Aham Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshishami Ma Suche, simply one statement, our brain, actually, our brain can contemplate few seconds, but later on, in order to retain that brain and mind for a particular subject to keep, to stick to that subject, it needs lots of strength and lots of explanations. Otherwise, the mind, it will just give attention and then go. It is not possible to retain the mind on the subject for a long time. So that's why we keep on hearing and hearing. So sometimes in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna repeats again and again, stressing the importance of the soul is non-destructive and nainam chindanti sastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayancha, na shoshayati maritaha. He gives in all 360 degrees. Of course, if it is just a circle, but if it is a sphere, then there are so many angles to see it. So our acharyas you try to fill all kinds of holes so that the mind does not escape from that subject. So it would stick to that one. So the devotees think that the comments and explanations of the great acharyas are quite fit. And then further coming to again, Upagateshu is also significant. So Upagateshu, Upa is coming to nearer and Gateshu is gone. So all the members of Vrishni and Bhoja directly reach the abode of the Lord. Upagateshu reach the abode of the Lord. Other devotees do not reach the abode of the Lord directly. So some devotees may be having desires, but the pure devotees of the Lord have no attraction for the opulence of any planets of the material world. So Sukadeva Goswami described in the second canto while we have going through, there some of the yogis, by their austerities and penances, gradually get detached from this material world and elevate themselves to the upper planets slowly, and then Brahma planet, and then slowly, and then go upwards to the spiritual planet. But it goes slow, and they would stay in the Brahma planet, and they will all go together along with Brahma to the spiritual abode of the Lord when once the Brahma's lifetime completes in this universe. So until that point, they would stay here. And some of the devotees, like for example, Dhruv Maharaj, he has got some desire. While he was going, he was seeing all kinds of planets, and then finally reached the Dhruva planet. And then until this universe is here, he would stay, and then that is his uh, that abode. Dhruva Loka is nearer to the Vishnu's abode here in this universe. After this universe is annihilated, he will go back to the Godhead. So likewise, still we see some of the pastimes. Many of the devotees, they have, for example, the one of the so that Vrittasura, and then he has gone to the previously he was the what is his name? Can't recall immediately. So previously he was the king, and later he became Vidyadhara. Later on, he became the Vrittasura, and then again go back to the Godhead. And then coming to Kuvera's children, Nalukuvara and Manigriva, and then they were like a kings, princes of the Alakapuri, and they were cursed. They became the trees, and then Krishna they were come in contact with Krishna. Later, on, they were elevated to the higher planets, and then just they were desiring that they wanted to remember Krishna all the time. That is one pastime. And also one of the pastime of King Durga, he was also having some kind of desires because of his pious activities. He came in contact with Krishna and then gradually elevated himself onto the heavenly planets and then gradually from upper planets and then go back to the Godhead. So these were the some of the examples. There are many of the, examples like that because devotees may have some other desires as well. But actually, through Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagwan Jiva, Guru Krishna Krupaya Paya Bhakti Lata, that is one thing. And then executing the devotional service, that is necessary and important. That And also there is one more topic, like whether going to the destination is important or the journey is important. Very very nice topic, that one. Um, okay, we'll come to that. It's a different topic. Okay, sometimes due to the inquisitiveness, devotees who are to be promoted to the abode of the Lord have some attraction for the opulence of the higher planets above the earth, and thus they desire to see them while going up to the perfection. But Vrishnis and Bhojas were directly dispatched because they had no attraction for material planets, because they have enjoyed all kinds of opulences while they were in the Dwaraka. Kridanti Mahapurushikayava. Mahapurushika, just like a Vaikuntha people enjoy, likewise they have enjoyed in the Dwaraka, and they do not have any other desires in the other planetary systems. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also suggests that according to the Amarkosha dictionary, Akriti also means signal. Lord ordered Buddha by signal to go to Badrikashrama after his departure, and Buddha was a pure devotee of the Lord, carried out the order more faithfully than going back to Godhead or abode of the Lord. So that was the cause of his remaining alone even after the departure of the Lord from the face of earth. So devotees, they just simply carry out the devotional service and follow the instructions of the spiritual master and whatever Krishna has said. They don't even desire for the liberation. That Lord also personally says that Deman Salokya Saristi Samipya Sarupya Ekatma Apyuta Demanam na Gruhnanti Vina Mat Sevanam Janaha. In order to render devotional service unto me, they do not even desire for any other liberations. So likewise, Buddha, he is reminded according to the direction of Krishna. So now, because of Buddha's presence, now there is conversations with Vidura also. And also now, I think some of our Rajvasi, we also worship Buddha along with Narinarayana in the Badrikashrama. So likewise, there were some pictures and temples are also like that. Okay, so that is as soon as we follow the instruction of Krishna, we will also be represented. We will also representing Krishna. We do not deviate from instructions of Krishna. Okay, so that is the Guru Parampara system. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So here Jiva Goswami comments, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comments. So they were prominent in this purport. Prabhupada brought all of them together. Okay, so Parikshit is inquiring about this one. Nidhanam upagadeshu Vishnu bhojeshu Ajirata yotapa yotapeshu mukyah. Satu katam avasista buddho yad harihi api tatyajha akritam pradeshaha. Why Buddhari, my even Lord has finished his pastimes and all other Vrishni and Bhoja dynasties are left to their abodes. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Today letter to Jananivasa, September 29th, 1970, Calcutta. Okay, can I request any unallocated devotee to read this letter, please? Seven Mother, you want to read the letter as well? If you are available.
Hare Krishna. You're asking me, Nikita?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. My dear Jananivasa, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you for your letter dated September 18th, 1970. I am very glad that you have taken to heart the instructions of your spiritual master. A bona fide disciple take the instruction of his spiritual master as his life and soul, and thus he is advanced on the path of devotional service. You are a very intelligent and sincere devotee of Lord Krishna, and you have a natural inclination for preaching his message. This is the proper spirit of our movement. So go on with increased enthusiasm enthusiasm preaching in the different schools and colleges in the vicinity, and Krishna will give you more intelligence for serving him properly. I am pleased to learn that you have got a course at the Ohio State University. The student received me very nicely when I spoke there last year, so please continue their instruction in the most uh, important subject of Krishna consciousness bhakti cult. Regarding your proposed marriage, if you think it is nice, then you have all my blessings upon both of you. If you do not think that you can remain brahmachari, then it is better to remain in Krishna consciousness as householder and not pretend to brahmachari artificially. From your description, the girl seems very qualified and sincere, so you continue to train her in our Krishna consciousness way of life, and she will work together with you as your helpmate in Krishna service. I am very glad to know that you are going on with your work and undaunted in spite of police harassment. Now you are 7 devotees there, so please see that everything is done regularly and strictly to the standard of devotional practice. All our literatures are for guiding you in your successful prosecution of Krishna consciousness. So follow this instruction of mine implicitly, and your perfection of life in Krishna services is guaranteed, and you will have the spiritual strength for attracting and training others in the bhakti cult. Please offer my blessing to all the devotees and keep me informed about your progress regularly. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. You may take a points, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So this letter is to Jananivas Prabhu. So here Prabhupada was mentioning about the importance of preaching, as Prabhupada always emphasize. So first Prabhupada was saying about the importance of instruction from spiritual master. So a good disciple, bona fide disciple, will always take the instruction of spiritual master as his life and souls, and he will dedicate his life to the instruction to follow the instruction of the spiritual master. So, and Prabhupada was saying that this devotee got an inclination for preaching, so do that in the colleges and schools, so that is the next generation. So do that for the new generation, that generation, so that, and when you do that, Krishna will provide whatever intelligence he want. And another thing is, like, if one feel like he can't continue as a brahmachari, he want to get into married life or grihastha, then no problem at all. Like the thing is, like, whether in brahmachari or vanaprastha or grihastha, whatever ashrama one may be in, the focus or the attention or the life should be centered around Krishna. So that is the main thing. So Prabhupada was mentioning, like, it is better to get married and live as a householder than pretend to be a brahmachari. So that is another thing. So we need not be pretend for anything. So we can express, like, there are options. So that is Prabhupada was saying. And Prabhupada was mentioning, like, the when in Krishna consciousness, when getting married, we have to choose our partner very wisely. Like, if he is also interested in Krishna consciousness, they have to consider. And this Prabhuji's, the girl Prabhupada was mentioning, she seems to be a good girl, very qualified girl, and to train her in also our Krishna consciousness way of life, so that she will be your helpmate in Krishna services. So Prabhupada was mentioning that also, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, that is what my takeaway is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Actually, any other comments, dear devotees, you want to add to this letter? So that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. One point here, getting marriage. It is one, unless one is trained properly as a brahmachari, it is not possible to retain that brahmacharya later on. Otherwise, they may fall down. So Prabhupada, a number of times he mentions that Prabodhananda Saraswati's Kaivalyam Nadakayate Trishabuhu Akasha Pushpayate Buddhantendriya Kala Sarpa Patali Proktat Damstrayate. So Duddhantendriya. So it is very difficult to conquer the senses. Kala Sarpa Patali, Proktat Dhamstrayate, just removing the fangs of the Kala Sarpa. So when we are married in the marriage, in the household life, the senses, they will be automatically subsided in due course of time. But devotional service and in the Grihastha if it is executed, it will go perfectly. Okay, so that is very important. Otherwise, one cannot retain that brahmacharya until the end of life. But that test still remains. Okay, so but the devotional service it nullifies and substitutes everything else. The course of time while he is controlling the Grihastha. Okay, that is my criteria as well. And then for that one, regularly and strictly follow the standard devotional practice, chant, and then related to like that. It is from Srila Prabhupada's letter, and from the announcements point of view. So today, Friday, we don't have any um, sessions in the evening. So tomorrow morning, we continue our Bhagavatam, and tomorrow evening, we have got a Bhagavad Gita session at 7 p.m. Okay, so I have requested our devotees to speak on Bhagavad Gita. So tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Okay, so that is the updates from my side. And the devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. And coming Sunday, I have our London Radha Yatra.
Like Uddhava is sorry, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Just like so, Uddhava is still in the Badrikashram, still right now. I heard.
So, but we do not see his disappearance past tense in the Bhagavatam. So, and we also see that in the Sukadeva Goswami is describing that Uddhava like in the Vrindavana like the creepers. Likewise, his presence is there in the Vrindavana. But yeah, we need to find that one from the Prabhupada's instructions. If Uddhava is still remained in the Badrikashram.
Prabhuji, can I ask you a question, please?
Yes,
The Vrishnis and the Bhojas that was mentioned, is there a description of them anywhere that, because I might have missed some of the things earlier that you might have spoken about a few weeks ago, but in case you have, but I just was interested to know about the Vrishnis and the Bhojas.
So Vrishni, Bhoja is the Kamsa's family. Bhoja, Kamsa is the son of Ugrasena. And Vrishni, so under Vrishni is the Krishna father is the Surasena. So they're all relatives together. I think so. If we see the Bhagavatam family tree, there we would see Bhoja king and Vrishni king, and then there are few other people also come into that dynasty. They're all coming under the Yadu dynasty.
And so the Bhojas never wanted to come back to the material world. And I'm surprised about that, because they also wanted to go back to the abode of the Lord.
Yes, so that is what Prabhupada is mentioning here. Their Vrishni and Bhoja dynasties were direct associates of the Lord. And they did not want to go to the higher planets. They want to go back with the Lord. So again, this one, to understand this bit, we need to see in the Brahma Vaivarta Mahapurana, Sri Krishna Janmakanda, the appearance of Krishna. Before appearance, Krishna gives instructions. You take birth as like this. You are going to be Dev. You are going to be the Vasudeva. Likewise, he gives all positions to all the demigods and his devotees, close associates, and also demigods. He instructs everything. In the Mahabharata, everything has been done according to the instruction of Krishna. Sometimes we may keep Krishna aside and we will discuss about some characters. And because this character did not do, and because of that character, sorry. But everything has happened on the instruction and the direction of Krishna. Krishna is the only person out of Bharatam or Ramayana, everywhere. It is everywhere only Krishna's glorification is there. Why Karna was like this side, though these things again on the will of Krishna. So for everything you would find there is a Krishna's hand. And here Vrishnis and Bhojas, they are the close associates of Krishna. So that's Prabhupada is mentioning direct associates of the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Anything else, dear devotees? Okay, so about Buddhava, Buddhava is not an ordinary Jivatma, so he is considered eternal associates of the Lord, Nitya Parshad of the Lord. And again, Prabhupada described, so previously Uddhava, he was the one, first of all, Krishna's associates, eternal associates. Later on, he has appeared for the sake of universal administrations as Vasus. And during the Vasus, he has performed, when he was performing so many sacrifices, he was praying to the Lord, I wanted your association, close association. Likewise, he prayed. And later on, when he has appeared as Buddhava, during that time, Krishna was speaking to Uddhava that, Uddhava, in your days of yore, you have asked for my association, though it was very difficult, but I have given it to you. Likewise, Krishna mentions to Uddhava. So, yeah, that is what we see from the Srimad Bhagavatam perspective. But from the transcendental perspective, so Uddhava is still there, but from the physically, we may not see Uddhava there.
Only who has a pure devotee or something like more, right? Maybe they can see.
Yes. So, and the Lord mentioned that this is your last birth in this material world, so you would be going back to my abode. Krishna mentions to Uddhava. So he has naturally remained here until his tenure finishes.
Mm.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so if you're happy, we shall conclude and continue with further chapter.
Same as Nar Narayan, it is still in Badrikast.
Yes, they are the sages because they have controlled their senses and they are in the meditation. Still are there. Still they are there. We could see their presence and by the spiritual power. Surya Dharma, that one. So they are the fourth incarnations of the Krishna. Okay, still there in the Badrikashmi. So Surya Dharma Kalasarikhe Naranarayana Vishi Bhutva Atma Upashumo Upetam Akurad Dushcharantapaha. Still performing their activities there. Okay, so that is Narayana to Badrikashram. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, we shall conclude. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
अनंत वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna conscious day. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya